At a swamp forest, something glowed brightly. It came from a chunk of wood. In that wood is an organism. It was a soft, yellow, slug-like creature, round and squishy, with big, bulging eye on top of its body. It was disoriented on where it was. This organism remembered that he was scrolling through his phone reading manga in bed, and he unknowingly fell asleep. He panicked when he realized that he suddenly died and came to another world. He decided not to think much of it, since there were some events like this, and everyone would soon accept the setting pretty quickly. He decided to be practical and confirm its surroundings first and think about how to survive. He kept shouting if anyone was there, but seeing the creepy red eyes glaring at him, he knew it was better to be quiet. There were bugs and miasma everywhere, and it was all damp like the humid season. And unexpectedly, he felt really comfortable. He came to his senses since he knew it wasn't the time to enjoy that. He was curious what exactly he reincarnated into. He felt like he's just a big lump. Suddenly, a screen appeared. It showed that he's a slime mold level 1, a weak creature, with a decomposer trait. Its health points were too low, so autophagy was initiated. He was told to eat or hibernate immediately. He was taking in the fact that he reincarnated as a slime mold, and he's losing health points. If he doesn't eat soon, he's gonna die. He immediately looked around to search for something edible, but he remembered his trait, decomposer. Slime molds are decomposers. They could eat wood. He tried that. Now he knew how slime molds eat. When he thought of the command to eat, his body automatically spread out to wrap around the target. The taste was surprisingly acceptable for him. He compared it to a soggy biscuit. 15 minutes later, he already made a dent on the chunk of tree. Our boy burped because he's full. He was alerted that experience points to level up were met, so his level increased to level 2 and his health points became full, 35 out of 35. He was also alerted that no experience points would be gained from decomposing dead wood for 1 hour. He also gained 1 skill enhancement point. The available skills to enhance were Decompose at level 6 and Pulsation at level 2. He knew what Decompose skill was, but he had no idea what the hell Pulsation was. He decided to add the point there to see what it does. It became level 3 and got activated. He learned that it means making the protoplasm inside him flow back and forth, achieving the effect of displacement. It was truly magical. Just activating the skill transmits the knowledge automatically into his brain, although he knew that he doesn't seem to have a brain anymore. Since eating wood won't grant him experience points for a while, he decided to explore. To him, it felt so magical that he could change his body shape at will. He noticed a mushroom nearby. When humans eat random things, they could end up in a coffin, but for him, a slime mold, he could tell this mushroom would be a delicacy. He slowly finds the shortest path and scoots over. Although slime molds move slowly, scientists found through maze experiments that no matter how complex the maze, slime molds can find the fastest path to the destination. Even more surprisingly, a slime mold experiment simulates the Tokyo subway. The slime mold completed in just 26 hours, a route that human engineers took 10 years to plan, and it was more efficient. He continued to crawl towards the mushroom, and eventually, he reached it and wrapped his body all around it. Now, it was time for him to eat. This moment for him was depicted as lovers finally meeting face to face after dating online for so long. The mushroom was represented by a woman who asked if he's tough guy bang bang. He confidently replied yes. She faced him, and he realized that she's a toxic woman, and he got scammed. In short, the system alerted the slime mold that it was invaded by toxins. Nutrients were being consumed rapidly, so he was tasked to detoxify immediately. He was poisoned, so he immediately moved away from it. The system notified that decomposition failed. No experience points were gained. The toxin was eliminated from his body, and poison status was cleared. He lost body mass, and health points were decreased to 17 out of 17. That scared him to death. Luckily, he thought of cutting off a limb to survive, and it looked like a part of it was decomposed by him too. He decided to let it off for now. He told it to wait until General Slime returns to camp and regroups to fight again. He positioned himself on the dent in the chunk of the wood, and 15 minutes later, he made a deeper dent on the wood. He was full. The system alerted him that within the time limit, decomposing dead wood yields no experience. He was restored to optimal status 35 out of 35. He was glad to finally be back to his full health. He crawled away from the tree. His plan was to decompose a little bit each time, disconnect before fully poisoned, then come back to decompose dead wood to heal, and repeat the cycle. He called this Project Move Mountain. As long as there's enough time, he believed he could take it down. This encounter was depicted again as the online lovers finally meeting in person. The woman mushroom told him to give up already since it had been the 8th time. But this time, she was cuffed and got under arrest. In reality, slime mold conquered this mushroom. Decomposition was successful, and he gained experience. He also acquired poison resistance level 1. Now it made sense to him why he lasted longer and became more tolerant the last few times, but to his surprise, he didn't level up. He thought decomposing a mushroom would give a lot of experience, but it doesn't matter. In a damp place, the one thing not lacking was mushrooms. The system notified that decomposition was successful, and he gained experience points from it. And he leveled up to level 3. He also gained 0.5 skill enhancement points. He saw a straw pipe mushroom which was safe and non-toxic. Decomposition was successful, and that earned him enough points to upgrade to level 4. His poison resistance also increased to level 2, and he earned 0.5 skill enhancement points. He saw a monk's cap mushroom, highly toxic, but it gives lots of experience points though, it was spicy. He also gobbled up a lot more mushrooms. He reached level 5 and gained 0.4 skill enhancement points. He was notified that decomposing mushrooms within 24 hours would no longer yield experience points. His health points were full at 79 out of 79. Since he's full and had reached the limit, it was time for him to pack the rest of the mushrooms. While crawling on the way back, he happily sang how he's a little mushroom expert, wearing poisonous mushrooms on his body to serve as rations and to protect him. Just like he watched in the Animal World show when he was a kid, a crab uses sea anemones to drive away octopuses, so now he uses poisonous mushrooms to scare away monsters that want to eat him. He was proud of himself for solving his safety issues. Everything was going well until he saw something. Those hornets were carrying a chunk of meat. He got cautious and he hoped that the poisonous mushroom would scare them away. He tried his best to blend in the background. Unexpectedly, a tongue was wrapped around a giant hornet's body, and it got pulled into the frog's mouth. The slime mold was startled when he saw it happen. The giant hornets surrounded the frog. He watched them fight while trying his best to stay hidden. The giant hornets approached the frog, and stung and bit it. Although the giant hornet's individual strength can't compare to the frog, the swarm makes up for the gap with numbers. He thought of picking up some scraps from them. Logically, the experience from decomposing monster corpses should be much higher than decomposing dead wood and mushrooms. Those giant hornets worked together against the frog. Eventually, the frog counterattacked using an empowered tongue. Using its long tongue, the frog slapped all those giant hornets away. And then it gathered them into his mouth. The slime mold continued to watch. Suddenly, a shadow hovered above the frog. Before it noticed what creature it was, the snake-like creature had already eaten it. Blood splattered. In entirety, this creature was a bird with a snake as its tail, and it noticed the slime mold. With nothing else he could do, our MC just offered himself to it. It watched him intently, and then it looked at the sky. Then it jumped away. This wind caused damage to the slime mold, reducing his health points by 30. But after that, it was quiet. The night deepened. The slime mold settled on the chunk of wood. He made a hole and entered it, and then he covered that hole with the mushrooms. He trembled as he realized that he's at the bottom of the food chain. But fortunately, because he's at the bottom, the gap in food chain levels was too wide, so he didn't end up on that monster's menu. At this point, slime mold was already at level 5. His title is a weak creature, and his trait is Decomposer. Health points are at 79 out of 79, and he has 13 remaining skill points. His skills are Decomposition skill at level 6, Pulsation at level 3, and Poison resistance at level 2. Even leveling up 4 times in one night doesn't change the fact that he's a weak creature. As a slime mold, he wondered how he could survive and rise up in the days to come. He was exhausted and sleepy. He hoped that it was all a dream, and when he woke up, he'd be back in his blanket. Morning came. The mushroom that he used as cover started to melt from the acid. The acid dropped in him, causing him to lose some health points. He woke up from the pain that made him burst upwards. The system notified him of a new acquired skill called Burst Level 1. It stimulates cytoplasm in the body to flow in the same direction instantly, generating a powerful thrust. He can use it once every 5 minutes. The mushroom scattered when he suddenly burst upwards. He looked around to see who did that. And it was a snail who spat out acid liquor. It melted the mushroom, and then took a bite of it. The The slime mold was so angry at this stinking snail. It noticed him. He was furious that it stole his mushroom, but it made it worse that it dripped its saliva on his face, nearly disfiguring him. That to him was unforgivable. The snail communicated with him, but he simply told it to stop playing the victim. The snail looked dejected. Looking at it made him think that they're fellow sufferers wandering the world, and they were just but these trying to get a bite to eat. He started to consider that he must have been too unforgiving. He decided not to make things any harder for it. There were plenty of mushrooms anyway, so sharing a little with it doesn't matter. He encouraged it to eat it up. The snail happily gobbled the mushroom. The slime mold realized that the situation seemed familiar. It was a friendship born from a fight, a typical hot-blooded shonen manga trope. And he started fantasizing how they formed a party and increased their survivability. And that eventually, together, they changed class, went on an adventure, and their bond would have defeated a demon king. He realized that to survive and become stronger, companions were an indispensable existence. So he invited the snail to form a party so they can look out for each other in the future, and he'll make sure that it has enough mushrooms to eat. The snail looked confused. Unexpectedly, it tried to eat him. It shocked the hell out of him. He was able to step away, but he was injured, causing him to lose 12 health points. His health points dropped to 62 out of 79, and he complained that it hurts like hell. He realized that monsters in the other world don't care about feelings. In nature, there was only the simple relationship of eating or being eaten. He was fooled by its pitiful look. Although they were both low-level monsters, it seems its strength was above his. While it was eating, he took the chance to escape. But it noticed him and chased after him. He decided to use the remaining skill points and upgraded Pulsation to level 4, and he ran with his full power. 3 minutes later, they were able to move a foot away from where they were, and the snail was closing in. Its speed was almost the same as the slime mold. It inhaled deeply. Then it spat out acid liquor. Slime mold took a direct hit. He lost 27 health points. His body was split. He realized that his consciousness stayed on the body that was a larger half, but he knew that there's something else to focus on. The snail approached him and opened its mouth, and it ate him. He split his body, and the smaller part escaped. The snail was ruthless, and all he could do was endure it. After the snail was done with that part, it came for him again. He grabbed the nearby mushroom. This snail lowers its drooling, tooth-filled mouth toward a small yellow slime mold. Instead of being eaten, he shoved the mushroom into its mouth using a burst. It choked on it. It tried to shake off the block, but in a few seconds it just dropped dead. The system notified that the target had been defeated, and experience points were gained, causing him to level up to level 6. He also acquired skill enhancement points 0.6. His strategy worked as he expected. He noticed that even though the snail has so many teeth, it insists on spitting acid to dissolve the mushroom before eating because it doesn't have poison resistance itself. Thanks for watching, bros. If you enjoyed this update, make sure to drop a like and hit subscribe so you never miss the next chapter we upload here on Manhwa Updater. New episodes from the main Manhwa dealer channel will always land here every week, so stick around and stay updated. And hey, if you want more fire stories, check out the latest upload on the main channel right after this. As always, stay cool, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.